So can anybody recall that what did we do in the linear programming? What was the situation? In the linear situation, the situation was we had an industry. In the industry, there are two machines, X1 and X2. Those machines do the work. Those machines produce the products for us. For example, if it is a biscuit factory, then those machines produces the biscuit. So that was the scenario. So the equation that is represented, that represents the machine. J equation, amader machine ko represent kore, that is our objective function. So this is our objective function. You see it is written at the first line as a comment. Now, in the linear programming, we use the constraints. We use constraints in order to optimize the scenario, in order to actually define the scenario. There are some constraints. Based on that constraints, we try to optimize the situation. So what is our constraints? The first constraint was we cannot have more than 20 unit of labor. তার মানে একই সাথে 20 জনের বেশি শ্রমিক কাজ করতে পারবে না, তাহলে খরচ বেড়ে যাবে, কোম্পানির প্রফিট থাকবে না. So this was our first constraint. And our second constraint was কোনো অবস্থাতেই 90টার কম আমরা প্রডিউস করতে পারবো না. We must have to produce at least 90 units. 90টা ইউনিটের চেয়ে কম যদি কোনো কিছু প্রডিউস করি তাহলে we will run into loss. So we cannot produce less than 90 units. So these are our three constraints. And in order to solve this problem, we use the Skippy library of MATLAB, of Python, of the MATLAB. So this library includes everything we need. You can see that we used linprog. Here, linprog means linear programming, and we are trying to optimize the situation. There could be other options here, but I have never used those. I used optimization. And how do we want to optimize? We want to optimize using linear programming. So we want to optimize using linear program. So how do we do that? How to use it? First things first, the coefficient of the objective function. What are the coefficients? 50 and 80. They are the coefficients. We don't need to write the entire equation. Puro equation ta likhar darkar nei. We will just write the coefficient, that means the values, 50 and 80. This x1, x2, or whatever it is, that will be automatically assigned by the library. So our life is easy when we use this library. And then coefficients for inequalities. এখানে যে অসমতাটা দেখা যাচ্ছে, for that the coefficients for the inequality, and again constraints for inequality. So inequality is the coefficient 5 and 2, 5, 2, and next minus 10, minus 12. So minus 10, minus 12. So this is the actually point where it gets little complicated. এখানে একটু বুঝতে অসুবিধা হয়. Rest of the thing is plain and simple. So এখানে কেন বুঝতে সমস্যা হয়? Because here the inequalities and the constraints are written in a different way, in a separate line. In this equation, in this constraints equation, 5 and 2 are the coefficient. So 5, 2. In the second constraints, minus 10 and minus 12 are the coefficients. So minus 10, minus 12. They are written as list of list. So let us put it in this way. Now it is much easier to understand. List of lists. And after that, then we write this value of the other side of the inequality. So here 20, and here minus 90, so minus 90. So that's all about the complex part of optimizing this problem using linear programming. And if we run this code, we will get the solution. The system will tell us that how long we should run x1 and how long we should run x2. So the system will optimize the problem if the solution is available. Otherwise, there could be some scenario where the industry is already running it at optimal level, or it's not possible to optimize something. In that case, this code will say that no solution available. So that's how we can optimize the production. So after production, that is the application of linear programming, we have the constraint satisfaction problem. So in the constraint satisfaction problem, you remember we use backtracking search. So this is what has been used here. So we have variable from A to Z, and we have defined the constraints in this way. A, B. You understand it is the programming language, so there is no way for me to draw the edges here. We have to write everything in text. So in this case, constraints has been expressed in this way. A, B. It means that A and B cannot be on the same day. A and B cannot have exam on the same day at the same time. So that's how this relation has been represented. It means that A cannot have exam on the same day with B. So এটা বোঝাচ্ছে এই ব্র্যাকেটের মধ্যে রিলেশনটা দিয়ে. These are our constraints. And after that, we define the backtrack algorithm. The backtrack algorithm takes the assignment. So whatever problem we pass to it, assignment means, think about it, that I assign some assignments to you. What is the assignment? The assignment is some sort of problem. Hold for a minute. I think there is a phone call. Okay, everyone, as you can see the code, please start typing this code, and you will show me whenever I will tell you to show. Please take 10 to 15 minutes to type this code. And there is an official task now. I'm going to complete that, and I'll come back.